Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on DatoCMS course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Send me any questions, comments, ideas you have. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Today, I'm going to show you what blocks are and what nested blocks are in DatoCMS, and then how do you use them to create a scalable content model. So we're gonna get into the details of that. But you know how this works. Before we get started, I do want to tell you real quick about headlesscreator.com. If you don't have an account, it's a free account, go get it. Go to headlesscreator.com, click on the little sign up button right up there, and you'll get your free account. You'll have access not only to this lesson on demand, but you'll have access to all the lessons in the Focus on DatoCMS course. There's a bunch of them in there. And on top of that, you're going to have access to pretty much the Content Modeling Weekly course, a bunch of other Focus on courses, and the Discover Headless Tech course. The Content Modeling Weekly course, many of you know I'm a content modeling geek. I love content modeling, and I have in there, I think almost 46 lessons. I got 2 upcoming lessons that will put me at 46 lessons. So there's tons of stuff in there, including Miro boards. You have access to all of that stuff. So anyway, go get your free account. I really would appreciate if you do that. And that's it on the marketing part. You know how this works. That's it for my marketing. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and restart the intro, because for the on-demand version, it's a very clean version. There's absolutely no marketing. So I will see you in just 10 seconds. Hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on DatoCMS course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, right there, get a hold of me, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Send me an email with questions, comments, ideas for the course. I'll take them into account, and if I have the time and the schedule, we'll put them in there and we'll get them going. Today, I'm going to talk to you about blocks, nested blocks, what they are, how do you use them in DatoCMS, and why do you want to use them in DatoCMS? So let's get started. Let's go ahead and show my screen here. So we're going to go ahead and close this up. All right. So first of all, what I want to talk to you about is what are blocks? Blocks are structures. They're different than content types. And what that means is you can have these repeatable structures that you can embed inside of records, inside of content types as records. So there is no content held inside of a block. The content is held in the block inside of a content type. And you'll see, I know that may sound a little bit confusing, but I'm gonna show you all of this in just a second. Remember, you can't query, you know how you can query content types? You can go using GraphQL or whatever and get content out of it. There is no way to query a structure. A structure will appear inside of a content type when you query the actual content type. And good use of blocks are going to be components like photo galleries, addresses, which is an example that I have, and I'll show you. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we'll start with the first part here. And by the way, the Miro board will be accessible as bonus material after the lesson is done, but you do need an account at headlesscreator.com. So, all right, so let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 content types, not blocks, just content types. We're going to have a person and a company, and a person has first name, last name, company has a name, but they both have something similar: address, city, state, zip, country. Business phone, business email, personal email. And then same thing with a company: address, city, state, zip, country, but they have a main phone, a support phone, a main email, and a support email. So one thing that I'm going to do here to show you is how we have to repeat these fields in content types. We're repeating them, right? Also, I put a 2 on this one, and here I put a full. What does that mean? Is that here I did my validation as a 2-character state, or 2-character, state code, and then here I'm doing it as the full. So here it would be like CA versus here California. You want to standardize too. So you can see how implementing the same fields across multiple content types not only is a pain, but it's also you need to keep track of validations and standardize on that, right? And then you can see here that we have a business phone and a personal phone. But what if they don't have a business phone? They only have a personal phone. Or what if they only have a business email and no personal email? Same with main phone and support phones. So I'm showing you all this for a particular reason. So let's start with that. I'm going to go into here, already created, and I'll show you under settings, models. These are just duplicates here on purpose for each of the sections that I'm going to show you. But the first one is I created a content type, very basic, name, address, everything that I told you about. All the fields are in there. You can see under, let's see, state. If we do state here, validation, you can see that there is no validation. I didn't set a character limit. If we go to person and we go to state, validation, oh, here I put 2 characters. So now I kind of messed this up, right? You have one content type that has no validation, the other one has two character validation, and authors are now confused. So let's go in, create real quick. We're going to go into the content. We're going to go to person here. We're going to create a new person. I'm going to create myself here and put 111 East Street in some city, California. And see, I have here, I do have 2 characters, so I can't do more than that. And we'll do 22233, doesn't matter, USA. And I'm not gonna have a business phone, personal phone, but I will have a business email. All right, now you know what? Let's put a business phone. In fact, in this one, we'll just have a personal phone. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and click save. And now I'm gonna go to company, and I'm going to create a company. Let's create a company called, of course, headlesscreator.com, some city, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some city. Yeah, the other one's some street, actually. Okay. California, 222. That's not 222, but it's okay. USA. And then I'm going to put a phone as 777. Okay. And then we'll put the main email is, okay, perfect. So notice, first of all, from an authoring perspective, the state here, I can put actually California. I can do whatever I want because I missed the validation. I'm showing this on purpose because when you start duplicating structures like this, like for address, in multiple content types, you're gonna somehow miss something, a detail, and it won't be standardized across the board. And that's why blocks are perfect for this kind of stuff. And I'll show you in just a minute. But now, so now that we've done that, we can go to the API Explorer, and we'll go to Explorer here, and we'll go to, let's see, CT01 company. We'll start there. We'll pull real quick. The name of the company, we'll pull the address. Let's see, address, city, state, zip, country. We'll pull support email, support phone, main email, main phone. So we can run this now. Let's close that up. And you can see that it returns pretty much everything. But look, it's returning 2 fields that we really don't need. Because for this company, we don't have it. So as a developer, you're going to go through all these fields. And what happens tomorrow if now there is a 3rd type of email or a 3rd type of phone? What do you do at that point? You have to go to the content model and now add that new field. And on top of that, you will now have to, you'll have an extra field that from an authoring perspective that you're not going to need, right? So I'm not going to query the person content type because it's the same deal, same exact deal, right? You're going to have all that information there. So that is just content types. There are no blocks there. But when you go and you start modeling, you need to start looking at some of these repeatable structures, right? That's the key here, repeatable structures. And you can see that address, city, state, zip, country, that's an address. So that makes up a perfect scenario for a block. And then you have business phone, business email, personal email. Well, this is contact information, right? So another block. So let's look at how would we implement that. All right, look at the difference. Look how simplified person and company becomes when we start implementing blocks. I like this much better, much cleaner. So what do we have? We have company that has a name, and we have person that has a first name and last name. That's it. The rest of it, what I've done, instead of separating it into address block, like a field called address with a block address and a field called contact with the contact block, I put details. And in details, I'm making it where you can select whatever you want. If they have an address, you can add an address. If they have a contact, you can add a contact. If they don't have it, then you don't add it. That's simple. So that way you only store the information you need in there. So what does the block look like? Well, the contact, remember, we may have personal email, we may have a business email, a support email, so on and so forth. So instead of creating those and then keep adding new fields for all those and having blank fields, what I did is I created a block called contact that has a contact type. Now blocks can reference content types. Okay, so I created a content type called contact type, and you're going to see that in just a minute. And in there, I'm going to create as many types as I need. So there's a one-to-one reference here for this block. And what am I going to be able